A very good evening all. I'm Aditi Lamba with the Thursday night edition of South Asian News, Vision of Asia. We are coming to you from our studio in New York City. Welcome to the show. Let's begin the episode taking a look at the coronavirus pandemic and its impact. The world has surpassed 219 million cases of COVID-19 with more than 4 million deaths. Here in the United States, we are at more than 42 million cases of coronavirus and have now surpassed 680,000 deaths in the nation. Cases are mounting in parts of the nation with low vaccination rates, and the Delta variant still has to continue to ravage through these communities. Health experts nationwide are currently focused on getting the vaccination rates higher in these affected areas. Hospitals in places like Alaska and Florida are struggling to handle a worsening outbreak. On COVID-19 vaccine, the US FDA has announced that it will give emergency use authorization for a booster, a third dose of Pfizer's vaccine in people ages 65 and older, people at high risk, and people whose jobs put them in greater risk of infection. How and when this will begin depends upon the CDC, which has been meeting to discuss the allocation of these booster doses. With that, let's now take a look at headlines coming in discussing much on coronavirus along with the return of Broadway. Here are the headlines. FDA authorizes COVID-19 vaccine booster dose for some, Dr. Bindu Balani, Hackensack University Medical Center. Indian American Women Entrepreneurs Association hosts Networking Night, New Jersey. Broadway is back with Disney's The Lion King and Aladdin, featuring Brandon A. McCall and Don Dero Rivera, New York City. A lot more on the other side of the break. Stay with us on Vision of Asia, Voice of the Community. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm Aditi Lama and this is Vision of Asia, Thursday night episode of South Asian News. On coronavirus updates and more, at least 182 million Americans, more than 54% of the US population, are now fully vaccinated. But a great chunk of the population still remains hesitant and unvaccinated. Cases and deaths are exponentially increasing, with the Delta variant truly proving to be dangerous and highly contagious. Alaska, which led most US states in coronavirus vaccination just months ago, now has had to take the drastic step of imposing crisis care standards for its entire hospital system, forcing a rationing of strained medical resources. This comes as the third dose, the booster dose of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine, has been authorized for use by the FDA. This is being authorized for people ages 65 and older, people at high risk, and people whose jobs put them in a greater risk of infection. The decision paves the way for a quick rollout of booster doses as soon as this week for millions of people who had their second dose of the vaccine at least 6 months ago. On this and much more, we spoke to Dr. Bindu Balani from Hackensack Meridian Health in New Jersey. Here is Dr. Balani. Yes, I think it's important that we keep on raising awareness about COVID-19 and the people should know what's going on. So let's go right into it, doctor. My first question to you has to be about the biggest news coming in today. The FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, has given emergency use authorization for the COVID-19 booster dose by Pfizer. They're saying that they're authorizing this for emergency use again for people 65 and above, individuals at high risk, and people whose jobs put them at high risk. My question to you is, what do you have to say about this new emergency use authorization that we're seeing, and how important do you think it is for us to right now go into this booster dose?
So I think it's looking at all the data that has come out from Israel and even from U.S. studies. Definitely, we see a slight decline in the efficacy of the vaccine after we cross the 6 to 8 month mark. So I think it's important to be able to boost your immune response up again to be able to fight this infection to keep you out of the hospitals. The good news is that the drop in the efficacy was not related to immune escape, meaning it is not that the virus was changing and the vaccine wasn't working against you. It was because of the waning immunity, which you can boost by protecting yourself by getting the third shot. So I think by taking the third vaccine, we are increasing our immune levels to be able to prevent this infection from causing us to get severe disease and hospitalizations.
Let me ask you this. How at risk are these individuals that I just mentioned to you today? Because, some of them did get their vaccine, their second dose in, 6 months ago, some even more than that. How are they looking like for you?
So I think that is the reason why having the high-risk population get vaccinated at this point is going to be very, very important. These subjects and these people who had been vaccinated dating back from the end of December, which is basically the frontline workers, and then subsequently the high-risk individual between the month of January end to March are the ones who are now having 6 months plus time frame that has already elapsed, causing them to have a drop in the dose. Now, these patients are the ones who are going to have, if they get COVID, have more severe disease. So the rate of death, when we knew from the first pandemic round and even again from March of this year, that these are the high group individuals who are the ones who are going to have more morbidity and more severe illnesses in their stay, and if they get this infection again, knowing that Delta virus is the main virus that is floating around, which is very infectious, I think keeping your immune status as good as possible is going to be the key in trying to keep them safe and healthy.
Let's now take a look at the Indian American Women Entrepreneurs Associations based out of New Jersey. The association prides itself in shining light on Indian women entrepreneurs and their accomplishments. The association's vision is to create a global community of women entrepreneurs who are caring, collaborative, and supportive, and also to promote the public perception of women businesses as divisive, strong, and innovative. It provides its members a resource base and educational opportunities to help them build skills to take their business to the next level. Members can even get funding for business initiation and expansion, government programs, and venture capital firms. On this, recently the Indian American Women's Entrepreneurs Association hosted a networking night for all its members and supporters in New Jersey. Here is the story.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today evening with the IAWEA Women Entrepreneurs Association. They are just rocking. I'm so proud to be a board member of this great organization where it's like a power place where all the powerful women have come together for a noble cause. And not only encouraging the existing entrepreneurs, but they're also motivating and inspiring for more women to come into the entrepreneurship. I'm Usha Krishna Kumar. I'm a senior partner with New York Life. I'm an attorney by profession. I did my Masters of Law from Cardozo Law School. and I was previously taking care of compliance and standards for New York Life, New Jersey office. But currently in my role as a senior partner, I'm proud to recruit talent for New York Life, mentor them, and assure a successful career for them with New York Life. And I'm very proud to be here. IAWEA has gone to different level and heights, and during this COVID, they were taking care of the community needs, supporting charities, and taking care of a lot of good stuff for the community. And I wish Nimisha ji, Seema ji, everybody all the very best. And as a proud board member, we are here to serve our community. Thank you so much.
This is Elaine McLean. I'm the Regional Director of the New Jersey Small Business Development Center at Rutgers, New Brunswick. I'm here at the Indian Women's Business Association meeting, and I just gave a speech on the concept of small businesses and the need for good human resources management systems. We expressed to the group of budding entrepreneurs that it is so important to make sure that in their strategic plan, in their organizational planning, that they do include human resources in order to meet their goals. Thank you so much for having us.
Hi, I'm Rachna Soin, trustee of IAWEA, and a very warm welcome to everyone who's watching. And as you can see, we are having one of our events today. And at the moment, I want to draw your attention to the fact that we're giving a lot of priority to the COVID situations which many of our members are facing. Today, we are in fact going to give a $10,000 donation to one of the members of our organization. And this has been given by Q and Answer Lab, and we are very excited about that. And we have also done a lot of QuickBook classes free of cost for our members to help them improve their businesses. And that has been given to us by Science CPA, by Ajayji. And we are in the process of creating another Excel courses free of cost, for which we will be giving degrees to our members to help them in these COVID trying times, giving them as many facilities as we can to improve their business, to take it to the next level. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. Please come and join us. This is women empowerment all the way. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Arun Anand, and I am a proud board of director in IAWA Association, empowering women business owners. So I really want to thank Mr. Sudhir Parikh and ITV to take a part, to take their time to come here to cover this event. I really appreciate your association with the women organization. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Priyanka Shah. I'm an executive board of directors here at IAWEA, which stands for Indian American Women's Entrepreneurs Association. And the goal of our organization is to help encourage, collaborate with women entrepreneurs and give them the tools and resources they need to succeed in their business. We are the voice of Indian American women, and if you're an entrepreneur, if you're looking to get started, we also help with commercial loans, we help with guidance, lots of tools and resources. Please do reach out to us at iawea.net. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so glad to be a part of Women Entrepreneur Association, and I would like to thank Mr. Amish Patel for supporting the association and Indian Women Entrepreneur Association to support Hot Chili's entertainment, especially Dr. Namisha Shukla ji, Minnie ji, and all team. They are always with me and support my business to bounce back in this pandemic.
Namaste, and thank you for having us. We are very fortunate to participate in this event at the kind invitation of Nimisha ji and Seema ji, and what a wonderful job that has been done. A very, very the attention to detail is very fantastic. So a big round of applause to all of you. And FIA is there in support of you. We look forward to engaging you, and maybe we can help you make chapters in the 8 states that we have presence in now, and help you expand, and hopefully giving out some bigger checks that we just gave out. So keep up the good work. We are always there, and we will support you wholeheartedly. Namaste.
Yes. I think I feel more power here than ever I have been here. So it's a big round of applause for all of you. This is the great work, Nimisaji, Seemaji. It's amazing. We have started 2018. Ankur has started, and myself empowering women with this small conference. I think Seemaji was part of it, and Nimisaji was part of it. So let's keep this organization rocking. And like Ankur said, we are there to support you anytime, anywhere, and we will be there for you.
It's now time for another short break on Vision of Asia, Voice of the Community. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And welcome back. I'm Aditi Lama, and this is Vision of Asia South Asian News segment. In New York City, Broadway is finally back, and it's back with more diversity and inclusivity, featuring many new faces from diverse and ethnic backgrounds. Under the Disney Theatrical Productions, popular musicals The Lion King and Aladdin are finally back 18 months after the shutdown of Broadway last year. The Lion King has recently opened to the public, and Aladdin will have its opening next week on September 28th. The Lion King, a Tony Award-winning musical, is directed by Julie Taymor, who was the first woman to ever win a Tony in the musical category. The Lion King has been watched by millions of people globally and has marked its 24th year in 2021. More new to the Broadway is Aladdin, but has garnered much love and appreciation by the public since its launch in 2014. It has broken 14 new Amsterdam Theatre House records. We spoke to the cast of both The Lion King and Aladdin in New York City ahead of their return to Broadway. We have tonight our conversation with Brandon A. McCall, who plays the role of Simba in The Lion King, and Don Derry Rivera, who plays the role of Iago in Aladdin. Here is the segment. And again, we are at the New Amsterdam Theatre in New York City, and I'm your host, Aditi Lama with ITV Gold, and we are talking to the cast of Aladdin and The Lion King. So my first question to both of you has to be, we're coming finally back on Broadway, right? After a year and a half. A lot of people have been looking forward to it, especially the performers in it. You know, that's their life. That's like what they do, you know, what they want to do. What is the most important thing that you're looking forward to on the first day of the show? What do you want from the audience? What do you want to see?
I just want to see the smiles, the joy in their faces, especially when we open with Circle of Life. That first call from Rafiki. I just want the audience to go up in a big yell and screaming for joy because Broadway is back. Yeah.
So true. It is back. What about you?
I'm ready for the electricity, but I think really what I'm ready for are the people who are like, this is what I needed. And this is exactly why I'm here, and they're giving it to us. And that gratitude, not only from the stage, but from the audience. That's what I'm ready for.
You know, in terms of your characters, I have to ask you, what are you looking the most forward to do in your character? You know, all of your characters do amazing things and the stage turns into something else, right? It doesn't even feel like I'm standing on that stage. So what do you have to say about that?
For me, as my character, it's just telling, first, my character is Simba.
Exactly.
So to just tell that story of perseverance and finding who you are. But also, I like swinging out on the vine for Hakuna Matata.
That's the real reason.
Yes.
What about you?
So I play Iago in the show, and I like to think of myself as a real life Disney villain. Like just being bad is like so fun. Kids, you shouldn't be bad. You should be good. But like being able to like be a bad guy professionally, like that's it's the dream, and that's really what I look forward to every night. Just causing trouble like I do in my regular life.
What's the most difficult aspect about playing your character?
Ooh, initially for me, it was the voice. I made a really strong character choice, and I was like, oh, like a week into rehearsal, I really did this. I really made this choice, but I was able to sustain it for 2,503 performances. So that's what I'm looking forward to, like getting back into it, because you know, Iago is a gruff little sidekick, and I'm ready for that.
And super villain as well. What about you? What's the most difficult aspect of being Simba?
It would have to be the physicality. We have to, also we have this puppet on our head, this headpiece that we have to maneuver as well. And you have to have those movements as a lion, a lot of Balinese work. So yeah, it would have to be the physicality.
What do you have to say about your passion for performance arts? What does it mean for you?
My passion for performance is just that moment that I get to change a life through what I do. It's really not about me on the stage. I try not to make it about me, but it's about, the youth, the audience, that one kid that doesn't or hasn't had the opportunity to see representation or someone that looks like them on a stage. So for me, it's about changing lives. And even if you're not a person of color, but if you're just going through something, you're having a bad day, I'm able to bring joy on stage and share that with you,
Yes, for sure. What does performance arts mean to you? What is, that passion that comes out? Why do you think you have that?
Well, so my parents immigrated from the Philippines in the 70s, and I had a really unique childhood because my dad actually started a Filipino folk dance group at my school. And so, my growing up was I would do Filipino folk dance rehearsal and then I would go to basketball or then I would go to soccer. So I had this really unique balance of heritage and history with growing up to be an American kid. So it was really deeply ingrained from my parents to have that performance art really in the roots of Filipino traditional folk dance, and then being able to bring it to American mainstream musical theater and using some of those skills. That's where my passion lies, being able to tell my story as a Filipino American to a global audience.
My last question to you just has to be for all our audience watching you on ITV Gold. I would love for them to know from you why they should come watch the Broadway plays in September again, everybody. Don't forget. Why should they come and watch you guys?
Because Broadway is back. What other answer do you need? No, seriously, Broadway is back. It's been a long year, and everyone is just ready to come back and have some fun, to be inspired, and to see this magic. So come back, come join us. Let's be safe, but at the same time, let's have some fun.
Have some fun. What do you have to say?
There's an electricity that happens in the audience and on stage, and it's actually a conversation between the audience and the performers. You can have that conversation with a TV, but for people that are on stage that can actually hear you and see how you react, there's something really magical about that, and that's the magic of live theater, and that's why you should be inside of a theater watching live theater.
With this, we wrap up our show for the night. Please send us your suggestions and get your voices and organizations in our show. You can email us on events@itvgold.com or follow us on our Facebook handle @itvgold. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel for free access to many of our popular shows. Thank you for joining us tonight from Queens, New York. This is Vision of Asia, and I am Diti Lamba. Take care and be well.